So today we're going to start a project to replace the back cutting edge or the back scraper, whatever you want to call it. This is a squared off bucket, so inside it's round, but on squared off so that you can drag to level for grading, things like that. And as you can see, the weld is totally gone on this side. The top here has just been worn through and is very thin metal now. And so what I've bought is some abrasion resistant steel, AR400, and I'm going to weld one piece up there, and then I have another piece that goes down here, and so that's going to go all the way across. So the first thing we have to do is cut the weld along the bottom here, and most of it looks like the weld is already gone. It's just, I'm using my Milwaukee 7-inch grinder for this. There won't be a whole lot of grinding because, as you can see, most of the weld is already gone and the metal is very thin. So let's get started. The top here and a little bit of the bottom, and then we're going to see if we can just peel this out a little bit. It's pretty tough still. I was trying to get it up a little bit so that I can get the crowbar in there. I'm going to grind a little bit more. Right away and decided to get the torch out and cut it with the torch because the grinder takes a long time, but I didn't want to hurry anything on the bucket with the torch. But that's far enough away from any other steel, so I can at least cut that part with the torch. So once I cut the top, I was able to get the pry bar behind there and just peel it away a little bit, and you can see There's only a little spot there where it's still holding on the end there, and in the middle a little bit. So we'll go ahead and cut that out and then smooth it off with the grinder. So I cut this along here and along here, and once I was able to get a pry bar behind that, it just broke off. You can see there was not much weld holding that anymore. Now we just have to clean it up along here with the grinder to be able to weld. Okay, so we have the first section done here. I had to poop on that a little bit to fill in the hole. I'll grind that smooth and then put a nice layer over it, but that was a pretty big hole there. Got, just like always, I'm not the best stick welder, but it's going to hold. And now we just have 2 more sections to do, but we're going to take the bucket and tip it upside down to do this bottom weld here, because I don't like welding upside down. You can see the kind of play that was in there, but this is what you use, your old pin, since you have a new one, to drive the bushing out. So we have the bucket off, and we had to use a chain to kind of pull it back and get it up a little bit. Got it on block, and so we've been working on the bushings on the bucket side. We have these 2 out, and we still have these to go. Problem with pulling these out is that metal there on the bucket is kind of bouncy. It's not a very solid thing to hit against, and so what I did is I used the torch and cut a groove into the bushing, just enough to get it so it can collapse, and then I welded the bead in after that, and then used the old pin again to pop them out. Now I'm busy pushing that bushing back in. These 2 bushings have been replaced, so now we have 2 new bushings in there, and then we have to weld the back. I already have that ground. Gotta grind a little closer, I think, but and that will be it. And then we got to put the new pins in and get it back on the hoe.